My grandma told me never to look out the window at night. I didn't listen, and now I can't sleep knowing what I saw. It started as a quiet night. I was house sitting for my grandma while she visited my aunt. Her old farmhouse was always a little creepy, wooden floors that creaked even when no one was walking on them, walls that seemed to amplify every gust of wind. But I'd stayed there plenty of times before. This time felt different. Before she left, she gave me the usual list of rules. Lock the doors, don't answer the phone unless it's her, and most importantly, never look out the windows after dark. I remember laughing when she said it. "What? Is the boogeyman gonna get me?" I joked. She didn't laugh. She just stared at me with this serious look and said, "If you look, you might see something you can't forget." That night, I stayed up late binge watching a show on my laptop. Around midnight, the internet cut out. Great. I decided to call it a night, but as I went to turn off the lights, I heard it, a faint tapping on the living room window. I froze. It wasn't windy, and there were no tree branches near that side of the house. The tapping came again, louder this time, deliberate. My stomach dropped. I told myself it was just some animal, but then I remembered her rule. Don't look out the window at night. That's when I felt it, like I was being watched. My skin crawled, and every instinct told me to ignore it. But my curiosity got the better of me. I moved slowly to the window, my heart pounding. I pulled the curtain back just enough to peek outside, and I wish I hadn't. There was a man standing in the yard, just beyond the porch light. He wasn't moving, but his head was tilted slightly, like he was looking right at me. I couldn't make out his face. It was blurry, almost like static. His body looked wrong too, like he was just a little too tall, a little too thin. I yanked the curtain shut and stumbled back, my heart racing, but the tapping didn't stop. It got louder, harder, like he was trying to get in. I grabbed my phone to call the police, but there was no signal. Then I noticed something that made my blood run cold. There were footprints, muddy, wet footprints, leading from the living room window to the front door. The knock at the door came next, 3 loud, deliberate bangs. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. The knock stopped, but then I heard the voice. It was coming from the other side of the door, low and raspy. "I saw you." I don't know how long I stayed frozen like that, clutching my phone, staring at the door. By the time the sun came up, the voice and the knocks were gone. But when I opened the door to check, there was something waiting for me. A single muddy handprint smeared across the glass and a note on the porch that read, "Next time, I'll come in." I left that house and never went back. My grandma still won't tell me what she knows about the windows, but I don't need to ask. I'll never look out one at night again.